After spending 52 years spotting the authentic from the fake, French-African art collector REGINALD GROUX says it's time to take the masks off, re-examine the Western appetite for African arts, and return these pieces to their rightful owners. He's brought his personal collection from his gallery in France to Senegal, where he's opened a museum.
Ne pas avoir de musée, je l'ai écrit quelque part, c'est assimilé.
Without museums, we are culturally illiterate. We need museums to remember one's past, culture and history. Museums can appease relationships between communities and people.
In 1966, Senegal's first president announced the creation of the Museum of Black Civilization. It took 54 years for the museum to open its doors to visitors. In this imposing building, a haunting silence. Absent are the historical pieces. Missing are the estimated 19,000 African artifacts taken during French colonial rule here. They can be found in French museums. In June, a Congolese activist removed a 19th century Chadian funeral pole from the Quai Branly Museum in Paris as part of a protest campaign against plundering during the colonial era. While he faces trial, French lawmakers passed a law to return just 27 artifacts, including the sword of Fulani commander Umar Tal, currently on loan to the Black Civilization Museum in Dakar.
We want to see the return of these objects. They won't necessarily end up in museums. If communities claim the pieces, they can have them back and decide what to do with them.
It is deep in Senegal's Sine Saloum Delta that Roux brought his collection to a public unaccustomed with the very idea of having a museum.
I wish I'd seen this as a child and learned how our ancestors lived. I hope future generations will have that opportunity.
900 years before Southern Europeans had discovered metalwork, Africans in Niger and Mauritania were making everyday objects out of metal. Now, this is a part of history that's less taught in schools, and that's why so many young Africans want to see the return of everyday objects found in museums in Europe back to the continent in order to tell their own narrative of history.
The process of restitution is painful but necessary, says REGINALD GROUX, who in these pieces sees not just art, but a journey from injustice to reconciliation and the opportunity for dialogue. Nicolas, Haque, Al Jazeera, the Sine Saloum Delta.